spin a staff in the forward and then in the reverse, and how to make that transition. We're going to talk about it in a couple different ways. Hopefully this will help you pick this up if this is something you've struggled with. Start with a good warm up. Hold the staff in the middle. You're going to spin from side to side, getting the blood to flow into the joint. You want to stay safe from injury during all of these workouts. I'm going to do this for 30 seconds after I adjust the camera. There we go. Kind of a weird angle there. But I'm just doing this 30 seconds. In one hand, I throw it into the other hand. And it's the same thing. 30 seconds over here. Just to side. We're not going to spend too much time on the warm-up because I want to get right to the forward and reverse spin and how to make that transition. If you've been struggling with how to train martial arts at home with your bow staff, going forward and reverse, this will help you, I hope. If not, let me know and we'll try something else. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Richard. It's good to see you. All right, so we did a proper warm-up by turning from side to side. I'm now going to go from one hand to the other because this is going to be used in your transition. So this is part of the warm-up. This is also going to help you with the transition. Hello, Justin. Justin said he's getting ready to pick up his staff and train. Hello, Matthew. Nice to see you. Just going side to side. That also allows you to turn it over more, improving your mobility, improving the flexibility and the strength in your hands. Hello, Patrick Starr. Patrick's in Slovakia. It's cold there. It's 7 o'clock at night. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So you guys are 6 hours ahead of us, it looks like. Hello, Doug. It's nice to see you. Good morning. Morning where Doug is. Early afternoon here. It's evening where Patrick is. 1 p.m. where Justin is. Yeah, Justin and I are on the East Coast. Well, I think, Justin, you're in the Midwest. But we're all in the New York Eastern time zone. All right, that's enough of that. Now, in your right hand, you're going to make this sideways figure eight, carving your infinity sign. Put it in your right hand, put your right foot in front of the left. You're going to go down and back, side to side, coming from one side and then over to the other side. That's right. I think, Justin, you said you're up in Toledo, right? Justin's in Ohio. This is where I was up to a couple years ago. 6 p.m. in the UK. Going side to side. I have a visitor coming in tomorrow to take a class with the bow from the UK. He said he's in town in Miami, getting in tonight. He's going to stop by and we'll do a lesson tomorrow. I'd love if you guys, if you're ever in town, open invitation, come and see me. We'll train together. Side to side, in and out. You're going to do that with the right hand and then put it in the left hand. Ghost Zombie says 1 p.m. And hello, Doug. It's good to see you. Snowing 24/7 in Slovakia. I was talking to one of my students in Ohio this morning. We train through the internet. He said it's been snowing up there a lot too. Oh, good. Kathy, thank you. So we're going side to side, in and out. I can feel the blood flushing into the shoulders. This is a great warm-up. It's good for keeping your shoulders healthy and strong. Good flexibility. And we're going to stop there because now we're going to go in the reverse. I want to talk about how to put it in the reverse and give you a couple of transition exercises you can practice that might help a little bit. But first, when you pull in the reverse, think about using the back of the hand. Ghost Work Zombie is in California, 10 a.m., 3 hours different. Pulling up and pulling up. So before, you're pushing down with the thumb, you're going side to side, and then pulling up. Yes, Patrick, I would like to come and visit Slovakia. I'd love to travel the world. I like to see anywhere and everywhere. I've been to many places, but there are many more that I have not been to. COVID has shut down all travel for me, as it has for so many people. Not just the restrictions, but business slows. When business slows, it's hard to justify the expense. Pulling up, but we'll get back to it. Pulling up, I'd love to do seminars all over the place. Maybe we can set something up. I'll come and do a seminar where you are. Pulling up to the side. Now, here's one thing that you can do, which I find very helpful in learning how to do the forward spin and then the reverse spin. And that is to hold it to the side of the body so that you can then do the spin in front of the body and behind the body. This is the forward spin. I'm pushing down with the thumb. I'm going behind the back, in front of the body, behind the back. And then I'm just gonna stop. And I'm going to reverse all of that. And I'm gonna now focus my mind on the pinky side of the hand or the small side of the hand. And I'm gonna pull with the pinky side. Pull. Doug's up in Vancouver, Canada. So it's beautiful up there. I have not been to Vancouver. Well, I have, but kind of passing through. Been up on the West Coast, up in Seattle a lot. In that area, I think it's very similar. Pulling up, but I don't know much about the city other than what I've seen in videos. It looks very beautiful. Pulling up to the front and the back. So this is one drill that you can do. You can practice that reverse spin to the front and the back of your body, and then bring it back to the front of your body. Hello, Sensei Emmett. How was your 100-man kumite? Sensei Emmett in Ireland was going to do a 100-man kumite to raise money for charity. I believe that's already happened, hasn't it? Maybe my timing's off. Then put it into the other hand and do the same thing. And again, if it helps, practice, and always, this is a way you can test yourself. Go to the front spin, to the front and the back. Doug asked what primary fingers control the spin of the staff. It depends on where it is along that trajectory of the spin. Doug, here I can feel it mostly in the first finger and the thumb. And then as it comes back here, I feel it shifting to the pinky and the ring finger. So I think as it goes down, it's more thumb first finger on this side in the front of the body. As I pull back, I feel these two fingers gripping. But you'll have to play around with it and let me know. Sensei Emmett says his 100-man kumite for charity has been postponed due to COVID. Surprise, surprise, right? What a bummer. Sorry to hear that, but I'm glad it's just postponed and not canceled. Pulling it up. I'm now in the reverse. So the way to check yourself is go back into your forward spin and look at your hand. This is so funny. I tell people all the time, look at your hand, and they keep looking at me like I'm speaking in another language, right? Like I'm saying something weird. I said, no, look at your hand. And they're like, okay. And I said, point your eyeball directly at your hand and see if your thumb is leading, and then stop it and look at your pinky and pull your pinky. And that might seem like an oversimplification, but when they do that, when someone starts to look at their pinky, then they almost always get it. So that's a simple little tool that you can use to make sure that you're spinning in the reverse. And if you like working with weapons, if you like martial arts in general, please give me a thumbs up as we practice here in the virtual dojo. Literally everybody around the world checking in right now. So you're pulling it up and out to the front and to the back of the body. Now let's talk about the transition, because if you're spinning forward, you cannot transition into a reverse spin unless you stop it and spin it while you're facing the same direction. However, Goswami says it's great for the joint, for the arms, for strength, for speed, for power, for balance, coordination, all those things are true. However, if you are going to spin forward and you want to continually spin, but have it then spin in the reverse, simply turn your body around. And now that I'm facing the opposite direction, it's in the reverse. I'll show you from this side. This is my left hand. I'm doing the forward spin. Forward spin. Sensei Emmett just said he did an interview for charity, which drops today. So go over after this, take a look at Sensei Emmett's channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Not just to help him with the charity stuff, but he's got some great interviews, great instructionals on his channel. From here, I'm going to turn my body and face the opposite direction. It's a 180-degree turn, and watch what happens to my hand. Every time I turn, I'm gonna turn back around. I didn't stop spinning. Now I'm spinning in the forward spin. This is a transition. I turn my body, and my hand has to go into the opposite spin. If I started with the negative spin here, or the reverse spin, and I turn around, it has to go into a forward spin. So that's the first transition I want you to see. And here's what I want you to practice. Practice walking slowly forward in the forward spin, and then turn your body around and practice walking with the reverse spin. And when you're ready, turn it around, turn it around. And if you don't have a lot of room, just walk in place or jog in place, which is even better because it gets your heart rate up and it's going to lean you out faster. And then when you turn around, I'm spinning in the reverse. I turn back around facing you, and it forces me to go forward. Now, what's going to happen is when you first start to do this, you're going to mentally fight it. It's going to want to go in reverse, and it's not going to feel right, and so you're going to stop it, and you're going to get all confused. But do it again and again and again and again. Doug says a 7/8 inch Joe, which is smaller than this, in hickory, it's in the link below, is easier to handle. This is what I've been telling a lot of my older students who don't want to sacrifice power, strength, or people who have who are not as strong as they used to be, or not as strong as somebody else might be. Go for the 7/8 inch. That's going to be smaller in diameter. It's going to be so much easier to handle. It's going to be faster, and it's going to be just as strong because it's made out of hickory. Get it made in hickory, 7/8 inch self-defense staff. It's that first link below. All right, so practice this forward spin, turn around, and now it's in the reverse. Now the next thing I want you to practice is this transition where you go from one hand to the other hand. And watch what happens, because I'm on the right side of my body doing a forward spin to the front and the back like we practiced in the warm-up. And then I'm gonna take it pinky to pinky, palms up, and it will naturally be, it has to go into the reverse spin on the left side, the opposite side. Every time you do an opposite, it's gonna change directions. I'm spinning in reverse to get it back to the right side. When it comes to the front of my body, you can also do it in the back or overhead. We'll do that in a second. But I'm gonna take it pinky to thumb, hand over top, and then it goes into the forward spin. Forward spin, I bring it over front of the body, reverse spin with the left. To bring it back, I do a full turn as far as it will go, won't go anymore without snapping my wrist off. My hand comes over top, and now I'm in a forward spin. I can go behind my back, and now I'm in the reverse spin. Behind the back, it's going forward, forward, forward. My hand comes between my body, pulls it out, and it's in the reverse. So it's in the reverse. To get it back to the other side of my body, I will not put it behind my back. I'll put it in front of my body. Forward spin, reverse spin, forward spin, reverse spin. I can also go overhead to get it into a forward spin. Behind the back, reverse spin. So all of this seems super fancy. It's not really. It's just changing directions. Every time you change directions, your spin will either be forward or reverse. So for review, and that's what this whole video is about. This is one thing that I know a lot of you are struggle with or challenged by, because when I teach in person, that's one of the big challenges people have, is this forward spin, the figure eight. You get this after 2 or 3 classes or 2 or 3 sessions, and then you're like, oh, this is easy. But then you try to put it in reverse, and you think you're in reverse, and a minute later you realize you're spinning forward again. It's so weird how the brain has a hard time unpacking that. But if you slow it down, think thumb, pinky, thumb, pinky. And you just practice forward, reverse, forward, reverse. And you chunk it up, right? Little chunks. Go forward, stop it, reverse. Get this feeling for what this feels like, So you're going here, you're going back, you're going here, you're going back, and then get into the transitions. Now the last transition I want you to see is that when you're spinning it forward and you go to the other hand, you're spinning it forward, and it's going to stay in a forward spin when you're going hand to hand. And when you turn around, it's backward, and then you turn forward again. where I'll show you. This will now be the front. So I'm spinning forward, forward, forward. I turn around, and it's naturally in the reverse. So the same rules apply when you go hand to hand in the forward figure eight, and then you throw it into the reverse. So practice all those different variations of forward spinning and backward spinning. And the biggest tip of all, if it's hard, still hard, if it's still elusive, it's still outside your reach, slow down, right? Really slow it down and look at your hand. It's the funniest, weirdest thing. When I say look at your hand, like I said before, people have a hard time understanding that I mean literally look. Watch it and then reverse it. And the reason that's so hard for people is I think that we, in our mind, have one picture of what this is doing, but when you look at it, it's a different picture. You're doing two different things. It's just the way we're made. I learned this from doing this kind of stuff and doing it in a competitive way. That if you want to be good at these kind of target acquisition, destroying targets with a certain kind of device, then you have to watch what you're doing, because you think you're doing this, and in your mind, you look like you're I don't know, a Navy SEAL or something, and what you're really doing is your hands are all janked up, and your arms aren't straight, and your hands twisted over, and your thumb's in the wrong position. And so once you actually start to watch it, then your mind and your hands, or in this case, your mind and your hand with the staff, will be doing the same thing. So you get an accurate picture. And once you get the accurate picture, you can manipulate it. And that's always been my rule of thumb. Watch yourself until every time you watch yourself, you're doing it right. And then you don't have to watch yourself. Teaching the traditional kata or pumse, and Doug will agree with me, everybody thinks they're doing a certain thing, and they're not. And most of the time, they're not. Or I'll say, put your feet in this position, whatever the traditional stance is. And they'll swear that their feet are in the right position. And I'll say, look at your feet. And they'll say, I did. They say, no, point your eyeball at your feet. Look at them. Lugo asked, which do I prefer, the bow or the no? I'm assuming you mean Joe. I can't, Lugo, I like them both for different reasons. I love the bow for the length, the reach advantage. I love it for all of the cool, fun things that we can do. I love the Joe for self-defense. I love this for self-defense too, but I also love the Joe for self-defense. I think they're just perfect. I say do them all. If you can do them all, do them all. All right, thank you so much. Thanks for that, Patrick. Singe Man, it's good to see you. Singe Man says he's trying to dodge the lefty YouTube algorithm. That ship has sailed for all of us, right? That's why I've tried to disengage from worrying about the things that I can no longer worry about. What they're telling us, what the world is doing, what the news is saying, the media is saying, the governments are saying. We have no control over that. All we have control over is this, right? We have control over the food we put in our body for the most part. Meaning that we can eat more fruits and vegetables and lean meats. You can eat less things that are packaged and eat more things that are healthy. And if you say, well, they're so expensive, eat less of it. Just eat less. We could all most of us could lose a lot of weight and be super healthy. You can control whether you exercise, whether you breathe, focus on your breathing, and what you consume, what you stick in your head is extremely important. And think about when you read it. Are you consuming negative news stories that we have no control over right before you go to sleep? And then you have disturbed sleep. You wake up more tired than when you went to sleep because you had these bizarre dreams. You put that there. Stop putting that in your head. So instead, try to seek out sources of joy, inspiration, motivation, and positive things. And then really make a list. Write it out. What do you have control over? What do you not have control over? And when you find your mind shifting over to world politics, will Russia invade Ukraine? Will China take over Taiwan? What's the next variant that's coming? Did they lie about the whole thing? Whatever it is, right? We can't control it. So if your mind goes to that and you find yourself going down those rabbit holes, especially here on YouTube, then stop doing that. Just tell yourself, shift. Go in and seek out, find the things that you like. You like doing the martial arts, you like doing the bow, you like working on, you like to garden, you like to meditate, you like to travel. I've been watching videos on Norway and Sweden and Greenland. I'm fascinated by Greenland right now, watching with the kids these mini documentaries. And so the algorithm will start to show you videos about Greenland. It's showing me videos about Greenland. It's not showing me videos about what Dr. Fauci said that, you know, and when did he know what he knew? And because I had to stop looking at that. It was consuming. And it's like, I can't put the guy behind bars. I can't do anything about that. I can't change whether he's, and I don't know, but they could be lying to me about that. So stop looking at it. Go look for the good stuff, and we'll all be a lot happier. And then go out and make connections with people. Find other people that like to do this. I promise you, if you start to do this, work with your staff in the park or outside, and it's hard at first because you'll think, oh, you know, I'll look funny, I'll look weird. People will wonder what I'm doing. I'll think it's like I'm a weirdo. You'll find the opposite is true. You'll have people come up to you and say, that's really cool. I wish I could do that. And you can say, hey, let me show you. Get a broomstick and I'll show you what I know. And then when you start to teach, you get so much better at all this other stuff. All right, you guys have been awesome. We're going to do another one of these later. I don't know if later today, but definitely tomorrow. And I'll see you on the next one.